Hi guys, I'm Tyler, and welcome to another episode of my Christian Music Week in Reviews. Each week I take 5 releases, albums, EPs, or singles, and after having listened to them all week, I come back here and I review them. I share what I think about them. So without further ado, let's get to this week's first release, Chris Tomlin's new album, Chris Tomlin and Friends. Chris Tomlin's new album, Chris Tomlin and Friends. By the way, I have the shirt on for this album. Anyhow, let's dive into it. So, as the album title suggests, Chris Tomlin has some guests on here, so let's mention a few of them. For the Georgia Line, Thomas Rhett, Lady A, Russell Dickerson, We the Kingdom, Need to Breathe, Bear Reinhardt, and others. And now let's talk about the actual sound of this. So, seems like it blends Chris Tomlin's typical sound with country, R&B, and gospel, and even a little pop, I would say, elements here. And as for the lyrics here, praises God for his love and his goodness, and also talks about living for him in light of that. Up next, Reach Records Summer 2020 playlist. Reach Records Summer 2020 playlist features most of the Reach Records roster, as we have Lecrae, Andy Mineo, Tadashi, Triple E, 1K Few, One Day, Hobie. And while we don't get an appearance from Gobby vocally here, Gobby does produce the Tadashi song, so Gobby's on here in a sense. So that means the only artist on Reach Record that isn't on this, everybody on Reach Records is on this playlist except for What Up RG in some form. And we have some non-Reach Record artists here too, including Paris Chariz, No Big Deal, and others. Now let's dive into the sound here. So there is synth and bass a lot, also some electric guitar too, and we get rapping, rapping, and singing. And as for the lyrics here, love the lyrics on here. Talks about not worrying and instead remembering how far God has brought you and keep moving forward and chasing your goals. Up next, Cory Asbury's new album, To Love a Fool. Cory Asbury's new album, To Love a Fool, includes acoustic guitar, electric guitar, drum, bass guitar, synth, bass, piano, and even some violin here. Musically, I would say it's good, but maybe not as good as I thought it was going to be from the first two singles we've heard, The Father's House and Sparrows, I'd say. And as for the lyrics here, love the lyrics to this album. Talks about God unconditionally loving us no matter what. And also talks about how we don't have to earn his love. Really good lyrics here. Really paints a beautiful picture of God's love for us, I would say, on this album. Up next, Building 429's new single, Different. Building 429's new single, Different, includes piano, synth, synthesizer, bass, and drum. And as for the lyrics here, talks about not hiding your scars and being proud of who the unfinished you has become. Up next, Jonah's new single featuring Anamoly, Faith Not Fear. So before I jump into my thoughts about Jonah and Anomaly's new single, Faith Not Fear, so some of you may remember that earlier this year, KJ52 dropped his final album as KJ52 Victory Lap, which, by the way, good album, and I reviewed that on this channel, was going to change his name after that album. And Jonah, which is his real first name, is now the name he's going under. So let's now dive into the actual song. So it has piano, bass, and rapping in it. Kind of reminds me of Lecrae's song Desperate from the Rebel album, stylistically. And as for the lyrics here, it encourages us, even when it's unclear, to choose faith, not fear. Well, that's it for this week. Come back next week for 5 more releases. If you like what you saw in this video, please subscribe. Also, if you have any thoughts about this week's releases, let me know that in the comments below. Also, if there's anything from this Friday that you want me to review, let me know that in the comments below too. Well, I'll go now. Bye.